Signs of tension overnight Monday in Portland, Oregon, after a ruling from a divided U.S. appeals court to allow U.S. President Donald Trump to send National Guard troops into the city. The San Francisco court said it was an appropriate response to protesters who had previously damaged a federal building and threatened U.S. immigration and customs enforcement officers. The three-judge panel granted the Justice Department's request to put on hold a previous judicial order to block the deployment, while a legal challenge to Trump's action plays out.
We're frustrated that so much deference is being given to a president that clearly has no idea what's actually happening on the ground. I hope that, especially if it's Oregon National Guard that ends up being deployed here, that they understand who's really escalating things here. I'm a little bit more worried if it ends up being Texas National Guard, because they don't really have that connection to Oregon or to Portland. But we'll just have to see.
The unsigned majority opinion was joined by two judges appointed by Trump in his first term as Republican president, while an appointee of Democratic President Bill Clinton dissented. While White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson welcomed the ruling, Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield called for the court to reconsider, saying the ruling puts America on a dangerous path. The ruling marks a massive legal victory for Trump, who has dispatched military forces to Democratic-led cities in California, Oregon, and Illinois. The National Guard usually answers to state governors, but Trump has relied on a law that allows a president to deploy the National Guard to repel an invasion, suppress a rebellion, or to execute the law. He has asked the U.S. Supreme Court to weigh his authority after another U.S. appeals court ruled against a decision to send troops to Chicago.
New Directions Community Credit Union is now open in Titusville. They may be new to our community, but they've been serving our region since 1974, providing their members with affordable products and services. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, volunteers, attends school, regularly conducts business, or who owns a business in Venango, Forest, Warren, or Crawford counties. Visit their new location at 206 South Martin Street in Titusville to learn more about becoming a member. Best of luck to all the students and athletes this fall from New Directions Community Credit Union.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville. Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Our new home.
Somebody pinch me.
Somebody say pinch?
Pinch.
We mean we just bought this.
Yeah, we just bought a new house. Why are there crabs?
Don't call for pinches. Call for protection.
Hit it.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your State Farm agent is ready to help you choose the right coverage for your new house and your car.
All right, which way to the sea?
We're in Ohio.
So is that close, or?
No.
You got a pool?
No.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Ronnie Long.
And I'm Lisa Mellon.
The name Armstrong reflects more than just a company. It's a promise.
While others focus on the short term, we're building for a future that's limitless.
From the dawn of cable television to the rise of the digital age, we've delivered cutting-edge technology like our advanced fiber network that redefines what's possible.
Guided by our core values, we have proudly served and strengthened communities like yours for generations.
Fat Chad's is Titusville's premier dining destination. Come hungry and enjoy these menu favorites: T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Dive into fresh pasta entrees like shrimp and scallop pasta or our signature Asiago chicken. And don't miss our famous burgers and fish sandwiches, all served with fresh cut fries. Fridays mean prime rib specials. Enjoy wild game Saturdays. And on Sundays, it's our all-you-can-eat wing buffet. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
211 is an easy-to-remember telephone number for finding health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. Every day, highly trained 211 call specialists provide referrals to basic human needs resources like food banks and shelters, physical and mental health, employment support, support for youth and child care programs, and support for adults and persons with disabilities. To learn more, dial 211 or visit pa211nw.org.
A strong day for financial and technology shares pushed stocks up across the board Monday. The Dow and the S&P 500 both climbed more than 1% higher, and the Nasdaq rose nearly 1.4%. Shares of Apple climbed roughly 4% and hit an intraday high after a report indicated sales of the iPhone 17 were outpacing those of the 16 in the U.S. and China. Meanwhile, a key semiconductor index also hit a record level during Monday's trading session. Jason Brown, president of Alexis Investment Partners, says he thinks this tech-led rally has more upside, but acknowledges prices have gotten frothy.
We're trading at rich valuations. At some point, these stocks are likely to underperform. We think we're still about a year or so away from that. There's still a lot of skepticism. There's still a lot of people talking about a potential bubble, which ironically tends to put it off. But we're seeing more and more speculative frenzy, and the more you've got these sky-high valuations, at least looking back historically, they've never proven justified in the past. So at some point, just beware.
Financial stocks got a lift as investors grew less fearful about regional bank credit quality. Upcoming quarterly results are expected to provide a closer read on the sector on the heels of last week's sell-off, which was driven by fears of systemic credit stress. Also boosting investor confidence was White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett, who said the federal government shutdown is likely to end this week. And in the ongoing trade skirmish between Washington and Beijing, U.S. President Donald Trump suggested easing tariffs on China if it resumes key agricultural purchases, including soybeans. Other stocks on the move included Boeing, which advanced nearly 2%. After the plane maker won approval from the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration to raise 737 MAX production to 42 planes per month. And shares of Weight Watchers surged more than 9%, following the company's announcement that it would partner with Amazon for weight loss drug delivery.
Oil prices fell for a second day on Tuesday amid concerns about excess supply and risks to demand stemming from tensions between the U.S. and China. The world's top two oil consumers have renewed their trade war, imposing additional port fees on ships carrying cargo between them, tit-for-tat moves that could also disrupt global freight flows. U.S. President Donald Trump said he expects to reach a fair trade deal with Chinese President Xi Jinping, though key issues like tariffs and tech remain unresolved ahead of their planned meeting in South Korea next week. The head of the World Trade Organization is urging both sides to dial it back, warning that a long-term split between the two economies could shrink global output by 7%. Key global oil benchmarks, Brent crude and U.S. West Texas Intermediate, both closed at their weakest levels since early May on Monday. Oil prices have been under pressure after the International Energy Agency warned of a potential surplus of nearly 4 million barrels per day by 2026, as producers ramp up output while demand stays weak. The current pessimistic outlook for oil is likely to extend into 2026, with analysts at Goldman Sachs saying on Tuesday they forecast Brent prices may drop to $52 a barrel by the fourth quarter of next year.
Disruptions continued to plague Amazon's cloud services unit AWS on Monday, as it struggled to recover from a widespread global outage that took down thousands of websites. Some applications were gradually coming back online, but AWS acknowledged that elevated errors were still affecting services. Ed Amoroso is an NYU research professor and compared the difficult recovery to a pilot trying to manage a mid-air crisis.
First thing you do is fly the plane. So the first thing they need to do is get their arms around their systems and get them operational. Then at that point, you sort of, the pilot would say, navigate. You make sure that you've got a good plan. And that's when you start to communicate out what the issues were, what the problems are. My guess is they're somewhere between getting their arms around this and then starting their plan for the fixes and for avoidance.
Amoroso said there did not appear to be any malicious activity related to the outage. AWS said the issue originated from within its EC2 internal network. EC2 refers to Amazon's Elastic Compute Cloud Service, which provides on-demand cloud capacity within AWS. Businesses use EC2 to run virtual servers that they need to develop, launch, and host applications, and can scale up or down on capacity as required. Amoroso said these services are appealing because the costs are low and the service levels are high, but that comes with trade-offs.
The bad thing is the proverbial all your eggs in one basket. So when you do have, your business running, say, on Microsoft or running on Amazon, you knock wood every day hoping that things are going to be okay. So we live in an era right now where we are very dependent on the cloud providers. So we need them to be at the top of their game. And today Amazon was not.
Monday's outage took down some of the world's most popular apps, including Snapchat and Reddit. Amazon's own services, including its shopping website, Prime Video, and Alexa, were also hit. Amazon did not respond to a request for comment.
All right, let's check that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Steady rain this morning, showers continuing this afternoon with temperatures in the upper 50s. Cloudy with showers tonight and lows in the low 40s. On into Wednesday, afternoon rain showers, upper 40s. Thursday showers, mid 40s. Friday, morning rain showers with temperatures, morning rain showers with temperatures in the upper 40s. And Saturday, mostly cloudy with temperatures in the low 50s. That is a look at your weather forecast at 7:15. This is the morning drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Happy Tuesday.
New day, waking up with
Beautiful colors in the sky this morning. Look at that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous day. Still had to, it wasn't real thick, but was your windshield covered this morning? Oh, mine was. But it wasn't like so thick so I, used the windshield wiper fluid.
You just a little.
Yeah, I mean, it took it off, but still. Okay, maybe I pumped it like 3 times on the way here. But it wasn't like real thick where you have to like lay it on a little bit and then kind of sit and wait for it. So, yeah. Rain this morning, apparently. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be wet a few days here. Afternoon showers expected tomorrow. Rain showers Thursday. Morning showers Friday. And then maybe we clear out a little bit for the weekend before rain returns much of next week. Holy smokes, we're going to be into November. A week from Saturday is the 1st of November. Can you believe that?
Crazy.
You hear these crazy stories. I saw this one yesterday. You hear these crazy stories, the lengths that people will go through when they, break up with somebody. Sometimes people have a hard time letting go.
Yeah.
And let me see here. This is just, bizarre. In 2017, a man got 37 plastic surgeries and changed his name so that he could date his ex-girlfriend again after her restraining order. Yeah. Isn't that nuts?
That's so weird. What the heck? That's so weird.
Yeah. I'm like, there's no way. So I may have spent like 2 minutes digging up that story just to verify it, but 37 plastic surgeries and a name change just so that he could date his ex.
That's
because she had a restraining order.
No.
Is that crazy?
That is crazy. Yikes.
Yep. What kind of world do we live in? You hear about some of these breakups and, social media and people following people and,
yeah,
the crazy stuff you can do there. Like that's.
I don't. We're not in the best place right now for so many reasons.
Yeah. Here's a nice story. A North Carolina woman bought a scratch-off lottery ticket while on break from work at a grocery store. She ended up clocking back in with a $200,000 prize.
Holy cow.
Yeah. I wonder, you think that's hard for people? You, in high school, worked in a grocery store.
Yeah.
Is that hard for employees not to, be over at the machines, buying lottery? I mean,
No.
If you're the boss and you're looking at your employees buying lottery tickets, are you going yeah, maybe not the most committed, or maybe they want out of here?
No, I don't remember being like, oh, I gotta, because I think you also see the other side of it where it's like, the same people in every day blowing their money and winning no money,
Yeah.
So I think, you're not going to.
So they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're not. They're seeing.
But the perception, I guess that's the thing, right? You don't want somebody walking in and seeing your employees on those gambling machines. On the gambling machines and the other things. It's like, yeah.
But who doesn't want to win? Doesn't matter what your job is.
I get that. And when it's on your break or your own time, that's fine. But I'm saying the perception is, it looks like your employees don't want to be there.
True.
I've been in businesses where the employee is doing some other job and not do. You've been in the position where we've been someplace and it's like, do you work here? Oh, yeah. I'm just doing this other thing. Oh, okay. Could you help us, the customer?
Yeah.
Like, do you not want to be here? Should we not be here?
Yeah. Should we leave now?
Right. Customer service, so important. So important. And you never know who you're going to come across. So
you could be, I don't know, if you're in a position of customer service, I get it, because you get the people who want to tell you how to do your job, or, you know, it doesn't matter what you do, they're not going to be happy, and you're constantly getting, I get it. But you don't know if the next person in line watching how you handle that situation is looking for an employee and wants to see, you know, like, oh, hey, they did a great job, or, ooh, never going to hire that girl.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know who you're waiting on or who you're dealing with.
We've been to dinner where you said, boy, I really like this person's personality, and you hand them a business card. You say, hey, if you ever need anything, you know, once in a while we have some job openings, but
yeah.
So that's good. But again, you never know. You never. And the other thing is, especially in that industry, you might get an amazing tip from somebody you're not expecting it from.
Your rewards for your, you know, and you could also become the person, like, that person might not tip you amazingly or be the person, but they could be talking like, hey, you know, I went to such and such a restaurant, and man, you know, Jenny, the waitress, was amazing. If you guys ever need, you know, it spreads quickly, but then so does the, don't go here because this waitress is dreadful. Like, they both spread quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
It's like, oh, not that person again.
Yeah. Can we not sit in that person's section?
Can we sit over there, please? And then they still come over.
Takeout. We're going for takeout today.
Here's the big question, and I thought about this yesterday, walking into the house, looking at the grass. It's like, it feels like done for the season, right?
Or not.
Well, I don't know. It looked like it was just a little. And then I look back towards the garage. I'm like, holy smokes, we need to clean that out before the snow flies. But as the weather cools down, plants and grass slow down their growth cycle. Grass type and where you live will influence grass growth in cooler weather. The climate or region one lives in can greatly influence when to stop mowing. Says these professionals. Mowing will typically take a back seat in the colder months as some grass varieties go dormant while others slow down growth. Many of our grasses found in lawns grow based on the soil temperature, not necessarily the air temperature. That's good to know. If the temperature remains warmer longer, then the plants continue to grow and potentially could need to be maintained. Typically, there is a last cut or last mow of the season before temperatures drop and it's too cold to mow. There are two types of grasses, the cool season and the warm season. Of course, we mentioned location will influence whether you grow cool season or warm season turf varieties. Warm season grass grows in warm to hot climates and often stops growing when the cold temperatures hit. In Texas, lack of rainfall can cause turf grass species to go dormant, as can cold freezing weather. Warm season turf grasses generally go dormant during the winter months. Cold season grass may continue to grow in cooler weather. Cool season turf grass may need to be maintained for a longer period of time because they continue to grow during the winter months and remain green. So when you're preparing for the last cut of the season, the grass type will influence the height to trim the grass. Mowing below the recommended height can scalp the plant, causing severe damage and stress. The last cut requires a balance of not cutting too short or leaving it too tall. It is not recommended to let turf grow taller than the recommended height because it can shade itself and become thin and brown underneath. The best way to ensure the grass is cut and left at the proper height is to know the grass species and cut.
within the recommended mowing height. That's a lot of
work.
Yeah. Just
If it's too high, mow the grass.
mow the grass. Yeah.
Let's just keep it simple.
Okay. Signs that the last mow is approaching. Check soil temperature.
Oh, no. It looks a little high right now, especially in spots where the dog has used it. There we go.
We don't even use like a thermometer for our turkey.
No.
Which we should probably, but no, we don't. Cooler temperatures is an indicator. So obviously, falling leaves. Yep, leaves begin to fall with cooler weather. So there's a hint for you. And know when the first frost hits. The last cut should be done before the first frost comes. And they say you really don't want to mow in cold temperatures. So avoid mowing wet or frozen grass, they say, because it damages the grass. Okay?
Got it.
Got it? We get all this written down. It will be a test later this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to birthdays and what we're celebrating here today. We're going to start with birthdays. Today is the 21st day of October. Who's celebrating a birthday today?
All right. So today we have actor Ken Watanabe. I don't know who that is, sorry. Actor Andrew Scott turns 49. TV personality Kim Kardashian is 45. Actor Glenn Powell is 37.
Oh, yeah, we like Glenn Powell.
Hidden Figures. What else? The one.
Anybody but you?
That's it. And Twisters 2.
Twisters 2, Top Gun Maverick. He's like the Hollywood it guy right now.
Yeah, but there's like, I saw a promo for a show and I'm like, or a movie he's now in, and it's like
Running Man or something like that.
I don't know, where he like goes and tries out for a football team, and he does like the Mrs. Doubtfire thing, and it's really like, what are you doing? Okay. Actress Natasha Bassett is 33, and singer Doja Cat turns 30 today.
All right. Happy birthday to all those folks. And happy birthday to you if today happens to be your birthday from all of us. Hope it's a great day for you. Go buy a lottery ticket and win.
There you go.
Unless you work. No. All right. What are we celebrating? What are you celebrating today?
Today is American Frog Day, Armed Forces Day in Honduras, Back to the Future Day.
Oh, yes. October 21st, 1985 or 1955. But it was, remember on the dash of the DeLorean?
Now it's 2025.
Now it's 2025, yeah.
Okay. Celebration of the Mind Day, Count Your Buttons Day, Everyone Writes Day, Global Iodine Deficiency Disorder Prevention Day, National Apple Day, National Archives Day, National Check Your Meds Day, National Pets for Vets Day, National Pumpkin Cheesecake Day, National Reptile Day, National Share the Warmth Day, Pharmacy Technician Day, Police Commemoration Day, Reptile Awareness. I already said Reptile Awareness Day. It's on here twice. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it. You're done.
Oh,
I'm done.
okay.
There's just a bunch of birthdays.
I had an apple last night.
You did?
It was, so I like the Honeycrisp apples. This one was a little tart.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's not your fault. You didn't grow it.
Didn't grow it. I didn't even pick it.
You didn't even pick it.
Stoa.
No. And actually, our kid picked it up at the store.
He just picked it probably because it was big.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the color and size and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't the greatest apple I've ever had, but
you ate it.
There. See, I knew that today was going to be
National Apple Day.
National Apple Day. All right, happy Tuesday, everybody. We're coming up on 7:30 here this morning. We'll bring you the latest headlines, let you know what's going on in the world, also what's going on in the world of business. A lot of headlines there, you know, that AWS outage, oil prices. We have all those stories coming up here this morning. This is the Morning Drill. Happy Tuesday.
Signs of tension overnight Monday in Portland, Oregon, after a ruling from a divided U.S. appeals court to allow U.S. President Donald Trump to send National Guard troops into the city. The San Francisco court said it was an appropriate response to protesters who had previously damaged a federal building and threatened U.S. immigration and customs enforcement officers. The three-judge panel granted the Justice Department's request to put on hold a previous judicial order to block the deployment, while a legal challenge to Trump's action plays out.
We're frustrated that so much deference is being given to a president that clearly has no idea what's actually happening on the ground. I hope that, especially if it's Oregon National Guard that ends up being deployed here, that they understand who's really escalating things here. I'm a little bit more worried if it ends up being Texas National Guard, because they don't really have that connection to Oregon or to Portland. But we'll just have to see.
The unsigned majority opinion was joined by two judges appointed by Trump in his first term as Republican president, while an appointee of Democratic President Bill Clinton dissented. While White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson welcomed the ruling, Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield called for the court to reconsider, saying the ruling puts America on a dangerous path. The ruling marks a massive legal victory for Trump, who has dispatched military forces to Democratic-led cities in California, Oregon, and Illinois. The National Guard usually answers to state governors, but Trump has relied on a law that allows a president to deploy the National Guard to repel an invasion, suppress a rebellion, or to execute the law. He has asked the U.S. Supreme Court to weigh his authority, after another U.S. appeals court ruled against a decision to send troops to Chicago.
Mr. President, your Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, in his Shangri-La speech in, I think it was May, warned about the potential likelihood or threat of President Xi ordering an invasion of Taiwan.
I think we'll be just fine with China. China doesn't want to do that. First of all, the United States is the strongest military power in the world by far. It's not even close. Not even close. We have the best equipment. We have the best of everything, and nobody's going to mess with that. And I don't see that at all with President Xi. I think we're going to get along very well as it pertains to Taiwan and others. Now, that doesn't mean it's not the apple of his eye, because probably it is. But I don't see anything happening. We have a very good trade relationship. We're going to have a very good, I think, when we leave South Korea, it could be wrong, but I think we'll end up with a very strong trade deal. Both of us will be happy. I don't see that happening, no.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom. Ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place. And now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
I needed a place I could feel cared for without the long drive.
I chose Mevo OBGYN because both my sisters came here, highly recommended Dr. Kristen. Dr. Kristen makes me feel very comfortable. Like I'm family, like we're friends, very personable. My daughter Evie was born breech, and it was Dr. Kristen and Dr. Barco, and they were incredible. It was a wonderful experience. I wouldn't ever want to go anywhere else.
Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
I'm Ben Leach, Republican nominee for Magisterial District Judge, reminding you to get out and vote Tuesday, November 4th. As the only candidate with over 13 years of real courtroom experience and a dedicated career in the justice system, I've consistently demonstrated the ability to remain fair and impartial. As I continue my lifelong dedication to serving our community, I strive to be the kind of leader our citizens deserve. On November 4th, vote with confidence for a candidate who is qualified day one, bringing the experience needed to serve as your next Magisterial District Judge.
This month, get up to $3,000 more for your trade at Community Chevy's Flip or Treat sales event. Is your old ride's condition scary and you're tired of the same online tricks? At Community, get up to $3,000 more when you flip your old ride for a nicer, newer one. And if another dealer offers more for your trade, we'll treat you to a free $50 gas card. Either way, you can save over $11,000 off best-selling trucks like the new Silverado. The Flip or Treat sales event this month only at Community Chevy.
A strong day for financial and technology shares pushed stocks up across the board Monday. The Dow and the S&P 500 both climbed more than 1% higher, and the Nasdaq rose nearly 1.4%. Shares of Apple climbed roughly 4% and hit an intraday high after a report indicated sales of the iPhone 17 were outpacing those of the 16 in the U.S. and China. Meanwhile, a key semiconductor index also hit a record level during Monday's trading session. Jason Brown, president of Alexis Investment Partners, says he thinks this tech-led rally has more upside, but acknowledges prices have gotten frothy.
We're trading at rich valuations. At some point, these stocks are likely to underperform. We think we're still about a year or so away from that. There's still a lot of skepticism. There's still a lot of people talking about a potential bubble, which ironically tends to put it off. But we're seeing more and more speculative frenzy, and the more you've got these sky-high valuations, at least looking back historically, they've never proven justified in the past. So at some point, just beware.
Financial stocks got a lift as investors grew less fearful about regional bank credit quality. Upcoming quarterly results are expected to provide a closer read on the sector on the heels of last week's sell-off, which was driven by fears of systemic credit stress. Also boosting investor confidence was White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett, who said the federal government shutdown is likely to end this week. And in the ongoing trade skirmish between Washington and Beijing, U.S. President Donald Trump suggested easing tariffs on China if it resumes key agricultural purchases, including soybeans. Other stocks on the move included Boeing, which advanced nearly 2%. After the plane maker won approval from the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration to raise 737 MAX production to 42 planes per month. And shares of Weight Watchers surged more than 9%, following the company's announcement that it would partner with Amazon for weight loss drug delivery.
The speculative juices are flowing. So you asked about the market today and the fact that it's up 1%. That's building on a rally that just keeps on going. It's got a lot of momentum behind it. I've been arguing that it's a little frothy. I actually rebalanced portfolios a little bit just because it's been a great year so far. But I think part of what's reflected is all of the skepticism that happened early in the year when we had the big sell-off back in April. People got too defensive. We've had a tremendous buildup of money in money market funds, some $7 trillion still sitting there that was earning 5% and then 4%. Now it's in the high threes, and we think it's headed for the mid threes. So some of that money starts to get into motion on almost any kind of positive news. And, we've got a Fed that's starting to cut rates, and we've got a scenario where, people are seeing other people making money. And if they have been sitting on the sidelines, I think they're starting to feel pushed further in, especially as, we're kicked off earnings season. And so far, things are still positive. There's just not a lot of things coming to, negative fruition. Now, we are still in a seasonally challenging period. We've got an overbought market. It's been soaring. And, we like to say here that the trees don't grow to the sky. So, again, we've rebalanced a little bit just to say, hey, let's have some liquidity available in case we get a seasonal pullback or a correction. But at the same time, with this much positive momentum, this much cash on the sidelines, if we do get a pullback, we expect it to be relatively short-lived. And I think that may be why it just doesn't seem to happen. The market just keeps on trudging higher, and with a healthy dose of skepticism that continues to kind of fuel the upside. So why are mid-caps a hot spot from our perspective? There's some key differences when you get into the mid-cap space as opposed to large caps. You're automatically going to have less exposure to tech, more exposure to other industries. The other thing that's happening there is the mid-cap space is your best small companies, right? As they continue to grow, they end up moving into the mid caps and so forth. And this is also the area that eventually graduates up to become the next, let's call it the large caps of the future. So it tends to be the sweet spot where you tend to have highly profitable enterprises that are still growing faster than your mega caps or your larger cap companies. And if you look at the long-term performance of the S&P 400, so the mid cap space, you'll see its volatility is not that much more than the S&P 500, but the performance has been better over the long term. The other interesting piece is the idea that it's been better over the long term, but worse over the last several years. It's just, again, another indication that just simple mean reversion implies at some point another period of outperformance. And we think we're starting to see that a little bit, more recently. Is it more speculative than large cap, mega cap names? A bit, but these are highly profitable companies in a broad range of industries. The S&P 400 itself is very diversified. I think the The biggest sector exposure you have there is maybe 15% of the index. And so, we just think it's a nice way to add some diversification without getting into the nuances of trying to stock pick among smaller companies.
Oil prices fell for a second day on Tuesday amid concerns about excess supply and risks to demand stemming from tensions between the U.S. and China. The world's top 2 oil consumers have renewed their trade war, imposing additional port fees on ships carrying cargo between them, tit-for-tat moves that could also disrupt global freight flows. U.S. President Donald Trump said he expects to reach a fair trade deal with Chinese President Xi Jinping, though key issues like tariffs and tech remain unresolved ahead of their planned meeting in South Korea next week. The head of the World Trade Organization is urging both sides to dial it back, warning that a long-term split between the two economies could shrink global output by 7%. Key global oil benchmarks, Brent crude and U.S. West Texas Intermediate, both closed at their weakest levels since early May on Monday. Oil prices have been under pressure after the International Energy Agency warned of a potential surplus of nearly 4 million barrels per day by 2026, as producers ramp up output while demand stays weak. The current pessimistic outlook for oil is likely to extend into 2026, with analysts at Goldman Sachs saying on Tuesday they forecast Brent prices may drop to $52 a barrel by the fourth quarter of next year.
I would say that today's agreements do not, in and of themselves, break China's dominance of the industry. But it is a good start if viewed through the lens of trying to diversify away from China's dominance of it. But it's going to require years of focus from multiple governments, and is also going to require a lot of money, a lot of investment. And so, yeah, I don't think this is a quick fix. If you look at, some of President Trump's remarks as part of this, he flippantly, or somewhat flippantly, said there's going to be a huge supply of these critical minerals within 12 months' time, which I don't think is possible to have that in 12 months' time. These things take years to achieve. But directionally, I think, I think this is a much better situation for diversifying the supply of these minerals than we had before these agreements.
From a major outage for Amazon's cloud unit to Apple's new record, this is Tech Weekly. Amazon's cloud services unit AWS was hit by a major global outage. It knocked out thousands of websites, disrupting businesses and some of the world's most popular apps, including Snapchat and Reddit. The issue marked the largest internet disruption since last year's CrowdStrike malfunction. Roblox, Coinbase and Robinhood were among some of the other big names affected. Apple became just the third company ever to hit a $4 trillion valuation. Shares surged after data firm Counterpoint showed sales of the new iPhone 17 series performing strongly. Investors were pleased to hear the newer models were outselling the previous iPhone 16 series by 14% during the first 10 days of availability in the US and China. European aerospace firms could be closing in on a major satellite deal to take on US giants. Sources said Leonardo, Airbus and Thales have reached a framework agreement on a proposed merger of their satellite businesses. They have reportedly been in talks for more than a year to create a new manufacturing company, codenamed Project Bromo. It would compete with rivals led by Elon Musk's SpaceX, which owns the successful Starlink. And Alphabet's robo-taxi unit Waymo showcased its self-driving Jaguar taxi at an event in New York City. It was to highlight a partnership with the city's Bronx Community College to develop and enhance an autonomous vehicle training program. Waymo and Jaguar Land Rover teamed up in 2018 to design and engineer the all-electric car.
Amazon Web Services returned to normal operations on Monday afternoon, the company said. That was after a major internet outage that disrupted thousands of sites worldwide, including some of the web's most popular apps like Snapchat and Reddit. Despite being back online, Amazon says some AWS systems are still working through a backlog of messages, which could take a few hours to process. The outage had a global impact. AWS powers applications and systems for companies across the world, and the disruption left workers from London to Tokyo offline. Everyday tasks, from paying a hairdresser to rescheduling flights, were suddenly halted. Even on Monday afternoon, users reported lingering issues with services like digital wallet Venmo and video calling site Zoom. This marks the most significant internet disruption since last year's CrowdStrike malfunction, which crippled hospitals, banks, and airports, underscoring just how fragile the interconnected digital world can be. It was at least the third major incident in 5 years linked to AWS's US East 1 data center in Northern Virginia. Amazon did not address a request for more clarity on why this particular region keeps getting affected. The root of the problem was traced to the Domain Name System, or DNS, which prevented applications from finding the correct address for AWS's DynamoDB API, a cloud database, critical for storing data.
Disruptions continued to plague Amazon's cloud services unit AWS on Monday, as it struggled to recover from a widespread global outage that took down thousands of websites. Some applications were gradually coming back online, but AWS acknowledged that elevated errors were still affecting services. Ed Amoroso is an NYU research professor and compared the difficult recovery to a pilot trying to manage a mid-air crisis.
First thing you do is fly the plane. So the first thing they need to do is get their arms around their systems and get them operational. Then at that point, you sort of, the pilot would say, navigate. You make sure that you've got a good plan. And that's when you start to communicate out what the issues were, what the problems are. My guess is there's somewhere between getting their arms around this and then starting their plan for the fixes and for avoidance.
Amoroso said there did not appear to be any malicious activity related to the outage. AWS said the issue originated from within its EC2 internal network. EC2 refers to Amazon's Elastic Compute Cloud Service, which provides on-demand cloud capacity within AWS. Businesses use EC2 to run virtual servers that they need to develop, launch, and host applications, and can scale up or down on capacity as required. Amoroso said these services are appealing because the costs are low and the service levels are high, but that comes with trade-offs.
The bad thing is the proverbial all your eggs in one basket. So when you do have, your business running, say, on Microsoft or running on Amazon, you knock wood every day hoping that things are going to be okay. So we live in an era right now where we are very dependent on the cloud providers. So we need them to be at the top of their game. And today Amazon was not.
Monday's outage took down some of the world's most popular apps, including Snapchat and Reddit. Amazon's own services, including its shopping website, Prime Video, and Alexa, were also hit. Amazon did not respond to a request for comment.
Apple's new iPhone is selling better than the previous model, according to a report from research firm Counterpoint. The report said sales in China and the U.S. for the iPhone 17 outsold the iPhone 16 by 14% during the first 10 days of availability. Sales of the base model iPhone 17 nearly doubled in China compared to the iPhone 16 during the same period. Across China and the U.S., sales of the base model climbed 31%. Apple launched the iPhone 17 in September, including in China. A Counterpoint analyst called the phone compelling for consumers and a great value for the money. Separately, brokerage Evercore ISI added Apple stock to the tactical outperform list, citing iPhone 17 demand, which it said looks stronger than a typical upgrade cycle. Shares of Apple rose more than 4% to hit a record high in Monday morning trading, nearing a $4 trillion valuation.
All right, let's take a look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Rain ending this morning, remaining cloudy with temperatures in the upper 50s. Cloudy with occasional rain showers tonight, lows in the low 40s. Wednesday, some afternoon rain showers, upper 40s. Thursday, rain, mid-40s. Friday, morning rain showers, upper 40s. Saturday, mostly cloudy with temperatures in the low 50s. That is a look at your weather forecast at 7:55. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. I was just looking at this forecast. So we were out. We took a nice ride on Saturday. We had to pick up our son at school and be back for a family wedding, which was just a beautiful.
Oh, it was such a beautiful day for a wedding.
It was gorgeous. But anyways, the ride to pick him up was also amazing and beautiful. And we passed a couple golf courses, and I'm thinking, oh
my gosh,
it would be so great to go play golf and enjoy the scenery. I'm looking at this forecast, and it's saying that the rain's over for this morning, and I'm thinking, wouldn't that be fun after work?
Today?
Because we haven't been out golfing since the end of July, beginning of August. I'm not fully healed, but I could do it. And I can tell by that look that's
my plate is full.
And that's exactly the time you need to go and do it. Is when
my plate is
when you need to, take a
full.
deep breath and step outside and whatever. All right. Well, maybe I'll take the boy.
There you go.
But
you know what? So, what's Saturday look like for you, like weather-wise?
It says mostly cloudy.
Oh.
Low 50s.
Okay.
Why are you thinking?
I'm not. I'm at something that you two will not be at.
Oh, but that's only for a little bit, right?
Yeah, but you could still.
And that's late.
I don't remember.
Okay.
All right. Listen, I'm just trying to be nice here.
Someday we'll get on the same page.
Someday. When we're 6 feet under.
Okay. But anyways, it was a beautiful ride, and the golf courses that we passed looked great. Very beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And you kept saying, oh.
I did. I was like, oh. To the point where you stopped asking what I was in about, But, well, I was going to say, we're preparing for playoffs tomorrow, and our final football game's Friday. I was thinking, do you try to get off? Do I escape work today? But I can. There's too much going on. Trick or treat next week. So sometime this week we can round up what time and what days our trick or treat.
Every community is a little bit different. I know. So,
what do you prefer? Because there's like three theories here with trick or treat.
I don't know. I don't know.
So theory one, it's the Saturday before or the Saturday after trick or treat, Halloween. Mm-hmm. Two, it's
the Thursday
before, and the third would be actually on Halloween. Yeah.
So I think at first I was like, oh, this is cool. It's on Halloween, until it's like, oh, Friday night, this and this, and or it's on, we are part of a youth soccer program, so I can't remember what year it was. There was a year where it was like,
it was Sunday.
Oh crap, Mm-hmm. I got to get home and decorate and be ready for trick or treat, and it makes it difficult to be. I know it's on Halloween. It's great, but that doesn't mean that.
See, the nice thing, like Thanksgiving. It's that Thursday, right? Every year, and you can count on that. Christmas, you kind of get into it, and it's like, oh, what days it fall on this year? Oh, okay. No, what do I've got to rearrange some things or figure out some things that it just, I think I like the consistency of
it being on.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
But there are people who love that it's on actual Halloween.
I don't know, when I was younger, it was like the Thursday before, and you knew it. And then Friday at school was like, you wore your costume, and everybody was all hopped up on candy.
Yeah,
exactly. It was great.
Yep.
Great. Back when you could wear your costume at school.
All right. This is the morning. You can't.
Some places don't let you.
The three-line trail. The morning trail. the feel untrue.
Signs of tension overnight Monday in Portland, Oregon, after a ruling from a divided U.S. appeals court to allow U.S. President Donald Trump to send National Guard troops into the city. The San Francisco court said it was an appropriate response to protesters who had previously damaged a federal building and threatened U.S. immigration and customs enforcement officers. The three-judge panel granted the Justice Department's request to put on hold a previous judicial order to block the deployment, while a legal challenge to Trump's action plays out.
We're frustrated that so much deference is being given to a president that clearly has no idea what's actually happening on the ground. I hope that, especially if it's Oregon National Guard that ends up being deployed here, that they understand who's really escalating things here. I'm a little bit more worried if it ends up being Texas National Guard, because they don't really have that connection to Oregon or to Portland. But we'll just have to see.
The unsigned majority opinion was joined by two judges appointed by Trump in his first term as Republican president, while an appointee of Democratic President Bill Clinton dissented. While White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson welcomed the ruling, Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield called for the court to reconsider, saying the ruling puts America on a dangerous path. The ruling marks a massive legal victory for Trump, who has dispatched military forces to Democratic-led cities in California, Oregon, and Illinois. The National Guard usually answers to state governors, but Trump has relied on a law that allows a president to deploy the National Guard to repel an invasion, suppress a rebellion, or to execute the law. He has asked the U.S. Supreme Court to weigh his authority, after another U.S. appeals court ruled against a decision to send troops to Chicago.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville. Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733. For over 30 years, J. Gill Plumbing and Heating has taken pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. Our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. And with the J. Gill service membership, you can take advantage of additional benefits like filter replacements and priority service scheduling. Plus, members get 10% off future projects. Call today to get a free estimate or ask about financing options. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online at jgillplumbingheating.com. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom. Ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
211 is a simple telephone number to remember when you don't know where to go for help. Dial 211 when needing to find health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. It's free and confidential, and you'll have access to thousands of programs and services for emergency and non-emergency situations. Visit pa211nw.org to learn more, and remember, help is available by calling 211.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
A strong day for financial and technology shares pushed stocks up across the board Monday. The Dow and the S&P 500 both climbed more than 1% higher, and the Nasdaq rose nearly 1.4%. Shares of Apple climbed roughly 4% and hit an intraday high after a report indicated sales of the iPhone 17 were outpacing those of the 16 in the US and China. Meanwhile, a key semiconductor index also hit a record level during Monday's trading session. Jason Brown, president of Alexis Investment Partners, says he thinks this tech-led rally has more upside, but acknowledges prices have gotten frothy.
We're trading at rich valuations. At some point, these stocks are likely to underperform. We think we're still about a year or so away from that. There's still a lot of skepticism. There's still a lot of people talking about a potential bubble, which ironically tends to put it off. But we're seeing more and more speculative frenzy, and the more you've got these sky-high valuations, at least looking back historically, they've never proven justified in the past. So at some point, just beware.
Financial stocks got a lift as investors grew less fearful about regional bank credit quality. Upcoming quarterly results are expected to provide a closer read on the sector on the heels of last week's sell-off, which was driven by fears of systemic credit stress. Also boosting investor confidence was White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett, who said the federal government shutdown is likely to end this week. And in the ongoing trade skirmish between Washington and Beijing, U.S. President Donald Trump suggested easing tariffs on China if it resumes key agricultural purchases, including soybeans. Other stocks on the move included Boeing, which advanced nearly 2%. After the plane maker won approval from the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration to raise 737 MAX production to 42 planes per month. And shares of Weight Watchers surged more than 9%, following the company's announcement that it would partner with Amazon for weight loss drug delivery.
All right, let's take a quick look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Morning rain showers ending here, remaining cloudy and a high of 57. Cloudy with occasional rain showers tonight with lows down around 41. Wednesday, some afternoon rain showers, upper 40s. Thursday, rain, mid-40s. Friday, morning rain showers, upper 40s. Saturday, mostly cloudy. Temperatures in the low 50s. That is a look at your weather forecast at 8:09. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
He's got a laptop smile and a smartphone charm, a toolbox of tricks right under his arm. Wi-Fi wizard with a lightning spark, turning tech confusion into walk in the park. From apps that sync to gadgets.
Looking at that forecast, Joe, it's going to be cold Friday night.
Yeah, I was going to wait until after we were done talking, but yeah. I'm curious as if you heard if there's room in the press box or not.
On top of the press box.
On top of the press box. Okay.
Yes, there's a cover.
Oh.
But that's it. We will be out in the elements pretty much. So.
Okay.
But anyways, that's Friday.
Just warm.
just warm, yeah. Joe Tech with us here on this Tuesday morning. And anything affected by the AWS outage in your world?
Nothing in my world. It seems like they've got most of it taken care of. As the last time I checked was about 10:15 last night.
Okay.
And it seemed like most everything was taken care of, but not 100%. So, and they still hadn't indicated what the issue was. They just anything coming out of Amazon was we're working on it. We're on top of it, and we're working on solutions. But again, as of last night, I hadn't heard any reasons why. So, but it affected a lot of things. They were indicating that Netflix was maybe still having issues in certain locations last night. And I can't remember the rest of the items that were having issues, but it was surprising to me what was having issues. So
yeah, Snapchat, Venmo.
Yeah, Snapchat was the one that was kind of surprising to me. Yeah.
I just keep thinking about NFL games, because stats, are powered by AWS.
Well, maybe that's what it was. They were taking up too much to do those stats. But they're Thursday night, right? Isn't Amazon?
Oh, they have AWS powered stats for everything.
That's right. It's the Prime. They have really cool secondary like broadcasts on Prime.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't heard anything new. Hopefully that's taken care of. It does bring to mind though, I feel like it's going to happen more than it doesn't. Like it's going to happen more and more. And so there's always going to be something going on or something's not quite working right because of the back end. They said it was their Northern Virginia data center, which is one of their largest ones.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. So, I think that's why you hear about them adding more and more, so that there's more and more redundancy, and so they're not as reliant on any one data center. It's just like anything else. We talk about fueling your car up. The more gas stations there are, if one's down, you just go around the corner and there's another one. It's kind of that kind of thinking.
Right.
So, I think you're going to hear about that more and more as time goes on.
Which, does that indicate kind of how lazy or impatient we are as a society? Because it's not just, you're right about the gas stations, but it's also, I think of like the Golden Arches or the that one coffee company where there's a store on one side of the block and one on the other side.
Yeah, well, we have become a society built on immediate gratification, and when I want something, I want it now.
And I'm not crossing the street to get it.
Right. I don't want to have to turn across traffic. I want to turn right and get into the parking lot. Yeah. Or not even go into the parking lot. I want to do the drive-through. Yeah. I want to eat while I drive, while I listen to a podcast. Like, I can't do one thing at a time. Don't be silly.
I talked to a guy Saturday who said he bought this new car, and he goes, and he's an older guy. He says, I am shocked. I went on a trip to Colorado, and I didn't even have to have my hands on the wheel.
Yeah.
Like, it just drove for me. And it's scary, he goes, because you start to feel tired, and you're not really doing much. You're kind of just looking around.
Yeah.
I could read the paper. I could be doing whatever, and it's staying right where it needs to stay.
Yeah. until it doesn't.
Until it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's equal parts amazing and terrifying.
Like the segment.
Yeah, exactly. I knew it felt familiar. Yeah. A couple of the other services that were impacted, PlayStation Network and Twitch, and Ring video doorbells.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was odd to me. Just it's kind of a random smattering of things that were affected.
Well, my wife's like, that's why my phone was so quiet. Because she has Ring for her mom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, geez, and that's kind of scary because you kind of rely on those things, to keep an eye on.
Well, yeah, you just said it, Joe. This is where we are today, right? When something goes down, it becomes scary because of how reliant we've become on this stuff. And we tend to forget how to live life without this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't even remember what we were doing, but our kids happened to mention something about, well, what would we do if we had to live without the internet for a while? I said, well, we'd have to go back to what we used to do, and we'd have to write notes and leave them on the counter so that we knew where everybody was, because that's what we used to do.
Yep.
Come home and nobody's home, you go to look on the counter, and, oh, Mom left me a note. She went to the store. She'll be back in an hour, Like, that's what we used to do. Or there were these little booths set up everywhere. It's called a payphone. You could walk into a little booth and make a phone call with a phone that had a cord. Yeah.
I miss the rotary phones.
Oh, yeah. Oh, goodness. I don't know that I missed that much. But
it took 5 minutes to actually make the call.
Especially if it was long distance.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Making the long distance call was like, oh, my goodness. A three extra. And it was an 8 in there, too. If you're dialing 814, it's like, oh, I got to wait forever for the 8. And if you're really fancy, you had the pen or the pencil, and you used the pencil instead of your finger.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
when people were like really on top of it. You looked at those people, like when we were kids, you looked at those people and go, wow.
Uh-huh.
They know what they're doing. Real phone pros.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So moving from the old time into modern day back again, Apple had another couple of announcements. Yeah. But last time we talked about the iPhone, I think we may have mentioned that there were still rumors about more products that were going to come out. Well, they announced some of them. They came out with their new M5 chip, and they announced some items that would be updated with the new M5 chip. The 14-inch MacBook Pro, the new iPad Pro, and an updated Vision Pro. Yeah, still $3,500, but now it'll be even faster and 120 hertz refresh rate. And is
there like the medical industry? Is there a specific usage of these things where they're keeping this thing alive?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think it's doing very well. I think there's some gamers that are doing some fun things with it, and from everything that I read, it is a very cool device. But it's $3,500.
Yeah.
I don't.
But
yeah, it's a very, very big but. Yeah.
If you were walking past an Apple store, would you go in and just take a look? Like, would it compel you to go and just say, okay, I got to see what this thing's all about?
Yes. Yeah. Well, and I think that's one of the reasons why they keep it around a little bit. It's, and you have car people on, and they called them the Halo models. Mm-hmm. The high-end Mustangs. People would come in wanting to look at a Mustang, right, knowing full well that I can't buy a Mustang, but the salespeople are like, well, while you're here, we got this in, would you maybe have a need for this, or are you in the market? And so they called them a halo model. It was something to get you in the door and give you an opportunity to see their other models and maybe get excited about something else. So I wonder to some extent if Apple isn't doing that, if they haven't seen some foot traffic driven to the Apple stores, people wanting to look at the Vision Pro just to see what it's like. And then, hey, while I'm here, I lost one of my earbuds. Maybe I'll grab another set of earbuds while I'm here. I don't know. Apple's kind of tight with that kind of information, but it wouldn't surprise me in the least if that's one of the reasons they're keeping that around. And just for the fact that it would look like a failure if they have it out a year and we're not going to do that anymore.
Well, and that can affect stock. And speaking of which, let's talk about that. But let's do this real quick. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Joe Tech with us here this morning. We actually had a story this morning. Apple nears $4 trillion value as iPhone 17 sales lift analyst confidence. So the 17s are more popular, they said, than the 16s.
Yeah, their early returns. Again, it's not necessarily Apple saying this, but people who follow and are able to track some of this information, they're saying that it's not just in the United States, but in China as well and overseas. It's doing very well. So it's doing
in China.
Well worldwide. Yeah.
Well, they've got stronger competition there.
They do. Yeah.
I thought Apple, they're probably still not number one, right?
No, I don't believe they're number one, but compared to the last model, it's doing better.
Yeah, I can't imagine the government's too excited about that.
No, I'm sure they're not. Yeah, but to some extent, they're made there. It's still a benefit to their economy. So.
Yeah. Well, I know we talked, I think a couple weeks ago about NVIDIA and with the tariffs and everything, China kind of starting to get a little more defensive on stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe not starting, but
last time we were talking, they were claiming that NVIDIA was a monopoly, so they were going to maybe push back on deliveries of NVIDIA, which I don't think is a big deal because I think we still have restrictions on the fact that how many of those they can buy, and so. I don't know. It's a lot of talk, but there are concerns because they are potentially going to limit the rare earth materials that are needed for chips coming out of China. So that's another piece of the puzzle.
This morning that we have a strong relationship with Australia for some of the stuff, some of the rare earth materials.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and that relationship is very strong. Yeah. Even though they want to put restrictions on social media, like they don't want anybody under 16 able to access,
which already passed a while ago.
Yeah, which already passed. Yeah. Again, I don't know that anybody really knows how that's going to happen, but it's a thing.
I'm sure it's a challenge for these companies, but yeah, you're right. So, I think with TikTok, we've discussed this where there's sort of like the conversation with the U.S. version of it versus what the world is, able to access, and what the U.S. has been able to access until this forced merger or forced sale. Facebook, for example, Meta, are they challenged by this? Where multiple countries come to them and say, "Hey, these are our rules and policies. So if you want your app available in our country, this is what." How many versions of Facebook are there? Or, Instagram or whatever.
Exactly. And so that's kind of the thinking, is that if Meta can do it for one country, other countries could easily follow and say, well, you've already figured it out for Australia. You just have to make that for us too. Mm-hmm. It makes it difficult though when it comes to that, what we were talking about earlier, having their data set up in different locations and copied across different locations for redundancy. Now it's like, well, this data center houses United States data, for the United States version of Facebook, but it's located in Europe or like we said, Australia. So how does that work versus, where is it stored for this country? And so it can be a little bit complicated, but that's what those people get paid the big dollars for, is to figure all that out and figure out the code for that.
Do you think, and this may be a really stupid question, but I was thinking about this, and we kind of talked about it a couple weeks ago, not in this way, but we were talking about how much easier it is nowadays to, when you buy a new device, to have everything transferred over. Because remember, like back years ago, it was horrible.
Yeah.
It took forever.
Yeah.
Now you just you put two phones together and it's there. Everything's there. Do you think this kind of stuff has helped streamline that kind of technology where, okay, we've got servers all over. We need to make it easy for everything to upgrade at one time. So, we're going to really work on that upgrade procedure.
Yes. Oh, I think absolutely it has. And I think that's why you don't even notice. Like, for instance, Roku devices just recently updated. I didn't even know, because it is so seamless and they just push it out and it goes. And, everything's constantly connected. So it's easy for them to just push it out and no big deal. So, yeah, I think that's been huge for them. And again, I was being a little bit flippant that they get paid a lot of money, but they do. And that's exactly why they get paid that, is that, the understanding how the whole system works and managing that is a huge undertaking. And those people are worth their every penny that they make, because that's a lot to handle. And they have to make sure that, the new code is right. It's tested, it's ready to go. They can section off areas where they can test it and then push it out to larger areas. And it's really quite incredible. So.
It's amazing stuff.
Yeah.
We weren't here last week. I was telling you, we spent the first, last Monday and Tuesday at an energy conference where this was a major part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Providing energy, creating energy to run these AI data centers.
Yeah.
It's not just like you just plug something in or one computer. Cities are being transformed.
Yes.
To provide what's needed to run these things.
Yeah. And I forget the term that they use, but essentially these companies that are either doing AI centers or just kind of more standard data centers, they're just assuming that they're going to have to build their own. They're after going to bring their own power. That's what it is. BYO, bring your own. Is it bring your own power? BYOP? Because they know that these data centers use so much power that there's not going to be local power available to run it. So they are just going into their building project knowing that, look, I have to figure out how to create X amount of power as part of my building project. So whether it's, finding an old coal plant that is being shut down, purchasing it, rehabbing it, redoing it so they can use it, or, finding a natural gas well. One of our clients that's nearby in Venango County, there's some guys noticed some cargo, like roll-off cargo containers located at this well site that they hadn't seen before. So some government officials investigated, found out it was a cryptocurrency mining, but they brought in natural gas fired generators to generate the power, because they were completely off grid, to generate the power for a cryptocurrency mining facility just in cargo containers.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's where these companies are, is like, there is not enough grid power for me to do any extra. So if I'm going to create this data center, I have to bring my own power. So
it's a
crazy world we live in.
Keep the conversation going?
Sure.
All right. We'll take this break and be back with more with Joe Tech here this morning.
Signs of tension overnight Monday in Portland, Oregon, after a ruling from a divided U.S. appeals court to allow U.S. President Donald Trump to send National Guard troops into the city. The San Francisco court said it was an appropriate response to protesters who had previously damaged a federal building and threatened U.S. immigration and customs enforcement officers. The three-judge panel granted the Justice Department's request to put on hold a previous judicial order to block the deployment, while a legal challenge to Trump's action plays out.
We're frustrated that so much deference is being given to a president that clearly has no idea what's actually happening on the ground. I hope that, especially if it's Oregon National Guard that ends up being deployed here, that they understand who's really escalating things here. I'm a little bit more worried if it ends up being Texas National Guard, because they don't really have that connection to Oregon or to Portland. But we'll just have to see.
The unsigned majority opinion was joined by two judges appointed by Trump in his first term as Republican president, while an appointee of Democratic President Bill Clinton dissented. While White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson welcomed the ruling, Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield called for the court to reconsider, saying the ruling puts America on a dangerous path. The ruling marks a massive legal victory for Trump, who has dispatched military forces to Democratic-led cities in California, Oregon, and Illinois. The National Guard usually answers to state governors, but Trump has relied on a law that allows a president to deploy the National Guard to repel an invasion, suppress a rebellion, or to execute the law. He has asked the U.S. Supreme Court to weigh his authority, after another U.S. appeals court ruled against a decision to send troops to Chicago.
New Directions Community Credit Union is now open in Titusville. They may be new to our community, but they've been serving our region since 1974, providing their members with affordable products and services. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, volunteers, attends school, regularly conducts business, or who owns a business in Venango, Forest, Warren, or Crawford counties. Visit their new location at 206 South Martin Street in Titusville to learn more about becoming a member. Best of luck to all the students and athletes this fall from New Directions Community Credit Union.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville. Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Our new home.
Somebody pinch me.
Somebody say pinch?
Pinch,
Ooh,
pinch.
pinch time.
We mean we
just bought this.
Yeah, we just bought a new house. Why are there crabs?
Don't call for pinches. Call for protection.
Hit it.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your State Farm agent is ready to help you choose the right coverage for your new house and your car.
All right, which way to the sea?
We're in Ohio.
So is that close or
No.
You got a pool?
No.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Ronnie Long.
And I'm Lisa Mellon.
The name Armstrong reflects more than just a company. It's a promise.
While others focus on the short term, we're building for a future that's limitless.
From the dawn of cable television to the rise of the digital age, we've delivered cutting-edge technology like our advanced fiber network that redefines what's possible.
Guided by our core values, we have proudly served and strengthened communities like yours for generations.
Fat Chad's is Titusville's premier dining destination. Come hungry and enjoy these menu favorites: T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Dive into fresh pasta entrees like shrimp and scallop pasta or our signature Asiago chicken. And don't miss our famous burgers and fish sandwiches, all served with fresh cut fries. Fridays mean prime rib specials. Enjoy wild game Saturdays. And on Sundays, it's our all-you-can-eat wing buffet. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
211 is an easy-to-remember telephone number for finding health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. Every day, highly trained 211 call specialists provide referrals to basic human needs resources like food banks and shelters, physical and mental health, employment support, support for youth and child care programs, and support for adults and persons with disabilities. To learn more, dial 211 or visit pa211nw.org.
A strong day for financial and technology shares pushed stocks up across the board Monday. The Dow and the S&P 500 both climbed more than 1% higher, and the Nasdaq rose nearly 1.4%. Shares of Apple climbed roughly 4% and hit an intraday high after a report indicated sales of the iPhone 17 were outpacing those of the 16 in the US and China. Meanwhile, a key semiconductor index also hit a record level during Monday's trading session. Jason Brown, president of Alexis Investment Partners, says he thinks this tech-led rally has more upside, but acknowledges prices have gotten frothy.
We're trading at rich valuations. At some point, these stocks are likely to underperform. We think we're still about a year or so away from that. There's still a lot of skepticism. There's still a lot of people talking about a potential bubble, which ironically tends to put it off. But we're seeing more and more speculative frenzy, and the more you've got these sky-high valuations, at least looking back historically, they've never proven justified in the past. So at some point, just beware.
Financial stocks got a lift as investors grew less fearful about regional bank credit quality. Upcoming quarterly results are expected to provide a closer read on the sector on the heels of last week's sell-off, which was driven by fears of systemic credit stress. Also boosting investor confidence was White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett, who said the federal government shutdown is likely to end this week. And in the ongoing trade skirmish between Washington and Beijing, U.S. President Donald Trump suggested easing tariffs on China if it resumes key agricultural purchases, including soybeans. Other stocks on the move included Boeing, which advanced nearly 2%. After the playmaker won approval from the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration to raise 737 MAX production to 42 planes per month. And shares of Weight Watchers surged more than 9%, following the company's announcement that it would partner with Amazon for weight loss drug delivery.
Quick look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania on this Tuesday. Looking at cloudy conditions today, upper 50s for a high, cloudy, occasional rain showers tonight. Lows in the low 40s. Wednesday, some afternoon rain showers, upper 40s. Thursday, rain, mid 40s. Friday, some morning rain showers, upper 40s. And Saturday, mostly cloudy with temperatures in the low 50s. That is a look at your weather forecast at 8:39. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Joe Tech with us here this morning, talking all things technology and big unexpected headlines to kick off the week with that AWS outage. But then there's all these other stories that have been popping up. Joe, you talked about Apple and some of the new things that they brought up, and their stock value was just announced. And there's a bunch of things going on outside of this outage. But as we say each and every week, doesn't slow down, does it?
We could have the whole show be about tech and still probably not run out of things to talk about.
Yeah.
There's one other Apple announcement that I wasn't even sure if I should bring it up, but it keeps popping up that the tech journalists keep talking about it. So I thought I would at least bring it up and let you guys know that it's a thing and see what your reaction is. But it was buried at the bottom of a release about the new F1 movie that'll be on Apple.
Okay.
The very bottom. Apple TV Plus will now no longer be called Apple TV Plus. Oh. It'll just be Apple TV. So you can now watch Apple TV on an Apple TV, I think. So and it kind of brings up the whole question of do these people not think about branding at all when they're thinking up the names of their things? Like I think they were Apple TV and then they were Apple TV Plus and now they're back to Apple TV. It's like
HBO Max, Max, HBO Max.
Yes, exactly. Like, this isn't rocket science, is it? Like,
why am I could be wrong. Who was the first to add Plus? Was it Disney?
Google Plus.
Okay, Google Plus.
Yeah, which that was their social media, right? Google Plus.
I
can't remember now. They've killed so many things; it's hard to remember.
I
think it was Google.
Okay, but in terms of the streaming platform, people like Disney Plus was out.
I think it was Disney Plus,
and it didn't seem like everybody else had to do the Plus.
Yeah, I think it was.
It was like AMC Plus.
Yeah.
It just kind of felt like, all right.
Yeah, and I get to some extent, like, okay, this is to denote that it's not your TV channel, this is your subscription service. But really, these ad companies like to spend money on thinking up new branding. Like, give them a couple bucks to find something better than a plus sign. Like, I just don't get it.
I had a notification on my TV app for Apple. Yeah, Apple TV Plus. I was just wondering if maybe it was to announce a name change because I don't check it out.
Yeah. Do you watch Apple TV Plus much?
No, not at all. In fact, it keeps reminding me I have 3-month trial for free, and I've never ever used it. There's a couple shows where it's like that looks kind of.
It sounds like there's a couple that are really, really good. Didn't they do really well at the Emmys or something because of their?
They're the ones that had Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
I think Fraggle Rock came back on Apple TV Plus. There's a couple shows that's like, that's kind of interesting.
Didn't Apple don't they own Snoopy? So don't they own the Peanuts gang now too?
Yeah.
So, it's still not compelling enough for even Apple people that like to watch TV to jump on board.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
No. Yeah. I think it's because this other. I was thinking, okay, maybe I need to cut back on some of the stuff I subscribe to because it's like I forget I have it or that I'm using it.
I definitely know. I've got a couple that are hanging out there that if you see my wife, please don't tell her that I haven't canceled those yet. But
yeah.
I'll get to it. Well, in one of them, I like to watch. So we're cord cutters. For those that don't know, we've completely cut cable. I haven't had cable in more than a decade. But I like certain things. I like to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's on Peacock. They usually have a special around that time, a year of Peacock for like $20-$30. So it's like, well, that's cheap for a year. So I usually buy it. So that's one that I know is coming up soon. So I either need to renew at a really cheap rate or just cancel it and then get it back again at the cheap rate. So I need to do that soon. And the other one, I keep thinking, oh, maybe I'll watch football on that other one. But I don't end up watching football on Paramount.
Does it have? It doesn't have the in-market game though, does it?
I think it does, but I'm not sure because I never end up. I usually end up going somewhere and being on the road or doing something. So
okay,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think some of the complaints. I can't imagine if you are buying the NFL package through the NFL app. You still get your in-market game.
I don't think you do.
Well, that would be dumb.
Well, it is, and that's why I still haven't bought the MLB app because you can't get in-market games, and I don't know if they're ever going to figure that out. But because I thought it was going to happen, and then it didn't, and I don't know if maybe now with the next collective bargaining agreement, maybe it can happen, but. Super frustrating. And I just end up going to the one free. It's not great, but I can 90% of the time get it. And so I just go to that. It's free. So
I've been teasing you a little bit. I've always said, the technology's good when it works and when it doesn't.
Yeah.
It's one of the frustrations I'm having now with my wife's phone, her old phone, where she's got like 31,000 pictures that haven't been backed up.
Oh, goodness.
So I'm trying to help her here.
That's got to be super frustrating for you, too, because, like, I can just feel your pain. Like, you got how many photos and none of them are backed up? Like,
None.
What are we doing here?
None. Going forward, though.
I'm
lesson
a
learned.
little bit disappointed in you that you didn't have that set up on her phone. Like, no, they need to be backed up to the family cloud so that I can.
The bad luck. The intention was to do it, but the day we were going to transfer it, that's when her phone stopped working. So she already had the new phone.
Yeah.
And we were just going to pair it up.
Yeah.
But the problem was she was at an event outside where it was pouring. And I think rain got in the phone, and then I think some other things got messed up. And so, yeah. What's your advice to people with technology and backing
Put it in
up?
rice? Oh, back it up. Oh, I thought you meant for the water issue. No. Back up. Yes. It is super simple to have your stuff backed up in the cloud.
Super simple.
Yes, it is. You know it is.
Well,
'Cause I know your phone is.
Yeah.
I know you know that it's easy. And everybody has one. I will actually say I'm actually backed up twice.
Are you?
Because I have an Android phone, and I'm tied into Google, so I'm backed up on Google. But also, if you have Amazon Prime, you actually get photos backed up as many as you want. Now, they won't do videos, but all your photos can be backed up on Amazon as well. So I'm actually double backed up, Luke. So neener.
I was trying to figure out if I could just select the main folder here of pictures and just have the whole thing.
The whole folder go.
So I don't have to select because I'm afraid I'm going to miss something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it shuts off after 2 minutes.
Well, as Jerry Seinfeld once famously said, good luck with all that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I saw the first Christmas commercial the other night. It was for, I believe, Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jumping
for the
right
holidays, yeah. Where a kid comes home from college, goes into her old room, and dad's on the treadmill. And it's like Amy and I looked at each other like, okay. It's here.
It's here. Well, it's, we got, a week and a half till Halloween, so the timing fits.
Yeah. Hey, did you see Home Depot found their next big hit.
I think I did.
Okay, so Skelly.
Do you have one yet?
No, well, no. Skelly the Skeleton, right? That
Yeah.
was and still is a very popular item for Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I actually have a picture to show you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now they have their Christmas hit.
Yes. A life-size, animated, with lights and sounds, R2-D2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
and I even saw a video of a guy putting it together, too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did he put it together or did he modify it?
No, he put it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because everybody's buying them to modify them.
Oh, okay.
Taking the Christmas stuff off. And they've got their life-size R2-D2 units.
Okay.
Which I guess are pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to stand there and stare at it when I go into the Home Depot and I see one on display.
I may have stopped off at one Saturday to see if they had any.
Are they up yet?
No.
No, okay.
So I don't know, Joe, and I haven't really dug into this. Are they available just in certain parts of the country? Because the guy seemed to indicate that they haven't made it over here yet.
Oh,
to
okay.
the
I didn't hear that. What the availability was.
Okay.
I did see the price. What, $300, right?
Yeah, $299.
Yeah, not a bad price for a life-size animated R2-D2.
Correct.
Yes. That, as you said, can be displayed all year round. There's no reason to put that away.
No.
That's going to be in your office, isn't it?
Or in here.
Or in here.
If I can find one. The guy's like, yeah, believe me, if we had them, I would be buying them.
Yeah, those are going to be a huge, I think those are going to dwarf Skelly. I mean, people are going to just come out for those just absolutely crazy.
And there's a line of them. There's Chewbacca and Darth Vader.
Yes.
Stormtrooper, I think.
Yeah, that
but
sounds right.
R2-D2 seems to be the thing.
Yeah. Well, because it already moves like a robot. You know, so you expect it to move like a robot. If you look at Darth Vader, you want his animation to be smooth, and I don't think that those are at that level yet where they're going to be smooth and naturally moving. So it makes sense that it's a robot. And who doesn't love R2?
I know.
It's like, really, if you think about it, it's most everybody. It might not be their favorite character in Star Wars, but it's in everybody's top 3. So,
we'll do this real quick. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Joe Tech with us here this morning. New study published October 8th by the Center for Democracy and Technology found that 1 in 5 high school students have had a relationship with an AI chatbot.
Oh, come on. 1 in 5?
Yeah. Or know someone who has.
Okay.
In a 2025 report from Common Sense Media, 72% of teens had used an AI companion, and a third of teen users said they've chosen to discuss important or serious matters with AI companions instead of real people.
Okay, so most of you know that I am around teenagers, have a couple of them at home. You have one at home and a couple in college. You know how sarcastic they can be.
The kids or
the kids,
AI?
The kids. How many of those kids did it just to be goofy, or did it for a friend talking about another friend who maybe hasn't had a date in a while? You know, how many of those people are actually seriously using that? I find it hard to believe that that many kids are doing that on the regular and actually listening to the advice.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think there probably are some people who might be going to Chat GPT or some form of AI.
I'm sure.
Maybe as an outlet for some things, but yeah,
I'm sure.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. The teenagers that I'm around still like to have real world experiences, and technology is still to them just a tool, and they don't They don't rely on it or.
All right, here's a dumb question, and you hear rumors of this once in a while. The latest one that I heard was a team that we played last year, and the rumor was that school district makes every one of their students participate in an activity, a sport or art or music or something. Like you have to.
Yeah.
Should we be looking with what we have today with technology and to get kids to put their phones down and, not to eliminate that sense of loneliness or whatever kids are experiencing, bullying, to make them feel like they're part of something?
Yeah.
Should we be making kids participate in some sort of an activity?
So one of the podcasts I listen to, I'm not sure if I should even say what it is, but do you know John C. Dvorak?
Sounds very familiar.
He was a tech writer for years, and he was on This Week in Tech.
Okay,
He was buddies with Leo Laporte a lot, so he would go on there every once in a while. Well, he has a podcast, and he rails about this. It's currently one of his favorite rails. He's like, sock hops. We got to bring back sock hops. That's how you learned. You were forced to interact with other kids, and that's how you learned how to socially interact. And you were rejected, but that's how you learn. We talk about it with sports all the time. You learn more from failure than you do success. You need to be turned down every once in a while so that you learn and you adapt. And kids are just not getting that as much as they used to. So I think to some extent there is a need to have forced interactions.
You bring up like this. I mean, this is just the can of worms here. I think kids today have such a short leash on them where they're not allowed to make mistakes.
Absolutely.
There's cameras everywhere. There's, you do something and then you've got the police.
Helicopter parents are not good for kids.
Helicopter parents, you've got, police in schools. There's so much anymore. Like, we need to give kids room to make mistakes and let them breathe. But we're putting them in this capsule, and the pressure just keeps building and building and building.
Yep. Yeah, it's not good for them at all. I still, kids don't go to dances anymore. After football games, where were we? We go to TikTok because there was a dance going on. Mm-hmm. We didn't have social media, so you had to interact. And so that's what you did. That's where the kids were, so that's where you went. Now we don't do that because we can just all talk to each other on our phones. And not to say that I don't like it, because it is cool and it's good that the kids are engaging, but there are nights when my kids will go home and they'll get on the computer and it's cool. It's Minecraft. They like to still play Minecraft and build in Minecraft, but they'll do it through a group. So there's a whole group of them in this world creating different buildings and structures, and it's really cool, but they're not forced to sit together and see each other. They can do it across the internet.
Well, Amy and I had a funny conversation last night. We were talking about just things we want to do next year, and are we doing this family vacation, or are we doing like a quick little escape, or what's going?
No, you're going on vacation with me. We already decided.
Well, we'll continue to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yes. And then so it was. Amy was like, "Well, I guess this family vacation thing." I said, "Well, remember, Sam graduates college in December.
Yeah.
He's going to be getting a job and working." She's like, "Yeah, and when we were that age, we did not want to go on vacation with our parents." No. It's time.
Yeah.
Not that he would love to do that, and that would, to do something, I think. But again, there's also the real world's knocking on the door now.
Well, just the ability, a fresh grad getting a new job, is he going to be able to get away? That's the other question. Maybe he would want to go because you guys would go and do fun things, but is he even going to be able to?
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure we solved any issues today, but
given another half hour, I think we'd have it licked. I mean, really made good progress today, Luke.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good to see you, Joe.
Good to see you too. Didn't even get to the space stuff. I know you like space
I
stuff.
love space stuff.
We'll have to save that for next week.
Aliens are coming next month, right?
Oh, is it next month already?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
I love reading stuff about that comet. It's like, we're seeing elements we've never seen before, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We think there's lights. What? I don't know.
Yeah. It'll be interesting.
All right. Next week, space.
If the rapture doesn't happen first. I'm
That's
sure there's
true.
a new date for that. So
Yeah, all right.
We'll see you.
Good to see you.